We are here with our partners at Liteline. My man Steve, fellow Canadian, is going to take us through the lineup here at Liteline. Tell us what makes Liteline unique, special. Steve, take it away.
Well, we won't go any further into that Canadian part because it does get even more exclusive.
It does.
But we won't touch about that. I'm getting rid of my accent. I'm trying. I'm really trying it. I'm adopting it. So we're going to go through a snapshot of our downlight offering here, and this really focuses on kind of the exclusive content for this show and this audience here. We do have other products that exist on either side, but they're not here for a reason. We've got heavy commercial over here and more entry-level products on this side that are more for the volume play. Sky, Luna, Sigma, and Helios is going to capture pretty much everything we need in a downlight solution. I'll work with the Sky to start, and we'll kind of cascade through. Benefits of any Liteline product here: we design with quality and control a light level in mind, right? So everything is going to have a regression to it. So that's pulling the optic back. That's helping shield someone's viewing angle from being too bright or too noisy into their eyes. We're all aware of the fixtures that have that type of effect. The total opposite is built into nearly everything we do here. So with the Sky fixture, there's a couple of really cool benefits to it. You're a 4 1/4 cut hole, so it's an easy install. All drivers are accessible across all families from below, so if servicing is needed or if there's extensions needed, we can do it. The Sky series has a selectable color temperature switch that's available below the ceiling. The best part is interchangeable designer-styled trims on a round cut. So it can be a square trim, white on white, or black, or gold. Depending on the layout of the application, you can design that trim and put it in for that. So a bathroom can be different than a living space, can be different than a corridor or a bedroom. It just depends on which trim style we want, but it's an easy go-to solution for ceilings up to maybe 11, 12 feet tops. The output caps at about 1,000 lumens, and that's where we'll sort of stop with Sky and move into the next one in the family, which is Luna. This is the industry's first wet location tilting gimbal. A couple of differences. You'll notice we can tilt. That's huge. The regression is still apparent. The look of the lens and that reflector is now different. This is more opaque. This is a little more diffuse. We call this a prismatic reflector. It looks more architectural. It's a little more designer friendly to the eye. Limitations in the product: we're at 1,000 lumens again, so our ceiling height is kind of limited here, but this is a perfect one shoe size fits most type of product, okay? Square and round, black, white, and a brushed steel or a brushed aluminum finish. That's the Luna program. We've got 2-inch model options all the way up to 6-inch. So it does go deep. More than just what we're showcasing here is available in the program. If I flip this fixture around on the back of the engine, you've got a color temperature control switch from 27K up to 5. So it's 27.3, 35.4, and 5K. So 5 positions of color temperature you can mechanically select from. Now that's where we kind of stop with Luna. This is a great product, again, for most applications. But when we get into higher ceilings, pitches, if we want to look at the architectural quality of the trim, we got to move further into the program. Sigma is our oldest LED product family. This has been around since 2014. This is the industry's first canless downlight. So remember the days of having big boxes shielded around hot burning light bulbs and then a reflector to try to make it work? We integrate that in as one LED. Today, there's 28 different trim options with a 2-light and a 3-light optional gimbal available to the program. But this is where we get into what's the aesthetic that we're trying to please. What's the application? Is it a sloped ceiling? Is it something we're trying to wash a wall? Are we trying to create an effect with the light? Are we trying to match the uniformity of the look of the trim? That's what Sigma does. Higher ceilings, we can get up to 1,600 lumens out of this. Out the front, 1,600 delivered, so we can get above that 12-foot ceiling space, 14 feet, 16 feet, and we can build it into the trim styles that we need. One example I like to point out, if we look at these two trim styles, they're both downlights, they're both fixed. One is straight, one is on that degree angle. That's your slope, that's your straight down. These are the same look, same style. It's a uniform solution depending on the ceiling application or the ceiling limitation, should we have one. If we look at beam angle options, color temperature options, trim styles, driver configurations, and the different engine sizes, any one of these Sigma trims can build out to up to 1.6 million different combinations. There is so much that you can do with this based around what we're trying to design for and what the solution might be. So Sigma is the option for nearly any downlight requirement.
Got it. So if you had a bread and butter SKU that you could point to for most integrators, you're going to say it's Sigma. That's the one to go with.
All day. Because you can
Excellent.
do low driver output options, so you can manage those lower ceilings. And if it pitches up, you've got angular fixtures and
Sure.
trims to work with. And if you hit those high ceiling areas, you can take care of it.
And then for our prime locations, artwork, the big dog is the Helios, right?
Helios isn't necessarily a better product than Sigma. It's a different product.
Right.
It's a precision tool, and it's intended for, you know, those strategic accent areas, the high quality light resolutions that we're looking to put in place onto, you know, a certain
Sure.
component of a build. It doesn't have the output options that Sigma has. You know, on a 2-inch, we cap at about 1,000 lumens. Big difference between the two. This is my only millwork trimless option available. Sits in Helios, so that's a big one. We can do trimless drywall with Sigma. We can do trimless drywall with Helios, but this is the only one that works for millwork. I'll expand on that slightly, and camera will want to jump up here. This is a really cool feature to it. I should talk about more about what Helios does, but I'll refer to the collar here, and you can see the threading on the square version. That collar can move, and that brings up or brings down the entire assembly. And from there, your trim can be matched to be perfectly flush with the substrate. Because you don't get a second chance when you cut the hole in wood.
No.
you can fix drywall. Yeah. It's tough to fix wood without replacing it.
Sure.
So we can micro adjust that using that coarse thread, that collar and that movement to be able to make it fit perfectly.
Beauty.
Okay, so jump back here. Again, not a better solution, so to say, but it's a different solution, and it provides precision. So Helios allows for full mechanical adjustability from below the ceiling. There's gradient set points you see for rotation. There's a gradient set point you see for tilt. You can adjust all of this from below. Tilt from below is a unique thing. The way we do it here, and it might be tough to see on the camera, but there's a blue screw. When we start spinning that screw, it's going to tighten up this little guide wire to pull that engine more vertical or allow it to drop. As it drops, it's going to increase your tilt angle. Again, you're doing this from below the ceiling with a screwdriver, right? With a gun. So that's an amazing feature to have. And if you want to set it before it goes up, there's your gradient set point. Match that with your directional set point, vertically through the hole, and it's going to snap into position. That's great. But what happens when we really hit a tilt heavy? Often, with mechanical tilt, you're going to get cut off. Helios is designed to get around that by having a 5mm shift that exists on the chassis itself. So it's going to move that now tilted engine to accommodate the angle of the reflector inside, so there's no mechanical tilt cutoff. Brilliant feature to it. So again, it's not better. It's just different, and it's going to provide a cleaner solution.
So general purpose knife scalpel.
You got it. 100%. 100%. So this is in a 2-inch and a 3-inch aperture. 3 inches is 1,800 lumens roughly at its peak, which, again, if we're comparing to Sigma, that's about the same in a 2-inch aperture.
Excellent.
So
excellent.
depends on what we're working on.
And then can you tell us just a little bit about the fossil products?
Absolutely. Come on over here. Come on over here. So we're going to talk about 2 layers of light. You've got your downlighting that we just covered. And then what about those other areas, you know, accent, task, you know, creating the ambience and that reference point. These guys are all hiding behind, so we'll peel these out. Maybe that was for a reason, but Fossil's by far the best way. When we're talking about stair lighting, accent wall lights,
sure,
this is a mud-in solution. So here's the lighting company selling plaster and drywall. You know, it's a crazy concept, but it's effective, right? Mudding is tricky. Often you've got perforated adapters that need to be feathered from, and you know it's got to be done by someone who's good at it.
You're gonna have
screw,
and stuff like
you got
that.
it, screw pops and all the same. We design I'll call it our prefabricated drywall solutions to have tapered edges, which ensures when that trowel goes across and that edge is married up, it's going to be a nice clean finish for a level 5 finish on it. The Fossil product is intended to be covered over right up to the edge line of the logoing. Obviously, you don't want to get any mud inside the aperture. You're going to have some deficiencies to deal with afterwards. 3 different beam angle options on it, and you can tell by the distribution patterns of the 2 that are lit up with an asymmetric pattern or this wide square option here. Depends on what we're trying to light.
Sure.
Could be a wider stair tread, might be a landing, might just be, you know, a corridor that's going down. But it gives us the options to look at with a total clean finished wall, or, you know, a finished wall around a step.
Absolutely.
Similarly, but in a way just moving backwards from it, if we're looking at something that's trimmed or something that has the flange, we've got our wall and our stair lighters, same kind of concept. The one that I'm showing here, I'll light it up in a second, but it's a wall graze. So if you consider the center or the rise of a tread, a straight staircase,
those are super
it's going to
cool.
hide the light from the bottom step coming up, you know, so you're never going to get light in the eyes. Remember back at the beginning, we were talking about quality and light control? Same concept here. Similarly, though, I might want to run light across that tread, and that's what this asymmetrical pattern will do on this step light here. So again, it depends on where we're mounting it,
Sure.
what look we're after, and of course what the client's
Bunch of
looking to
fun
achieve,
different
right?
variations.
A bunch of fun different variations.
Oh, you blinded me. So that we answered that one. Have you ever been blinded doing a demo?
One more. So for millwork under cabinet, what's the most important? What we're trying to light is the backsplash.
Sure.
That's always what it is. So you've got a number of options. There's tape and there's extrusions, things that will do it. You've got a continuous run of light. We like to celebrate the fact that the wash should be away from the visibility angle of it. This is our moon puck, and what it does is it's going to take the light, and I'm just going to drop this down, and it's giving you that perfect horizontal throw. So if this is mounted into the underside of the cabinet, you're going to have a true wash. You mount these every couple of feet, you're going to have a nice continuous line without having a continuous line. You know what I'm saying? Easy to install, 24-volt supply, and it's going to give us that nice horizontal, clean, full wash across a backsplash. Great solution for the under cabinet space.
Amazing.
So that's kind of where we're at in a nutshell. I mean, we can talk about some of the prefabricated trimless solutions for the Sigma and the Helios series. As an option, we do your perforated adapter. That's available. Or you can get it in our Precision Pro program, which is that same adapter that's CNC cut, glued into place on a 12 by 12 piece of drywall. It's slow mud cured over top, so we guarantee this. There's a lifetime warranty on it, so there's going to be no screw pops because there's no screws.
Right.
And since it's slow mud cured, you're going to have a nice clean finish. Tapered on the edges, so again, when we're marrying that up to another piece of drywall, it's a straight pull of that trowel, a nice clean finish. But everything is done before, so we're taping straight edges instead of having to feather out from traditionally round-edged perforated adapters for trimless.
Very cool.
Available for Sigma and Helios as an option. That's what we got. That's what we're showing right now. There's some other things under the table, but that's another time.
So if you want more details about what Liteline has to offer, check out Liteline.com. Take a look at all of those things. Then reach out to us at Progressive Marketing. We'll be happy to hook you up with the guys at Liteline for an in-person training. Come out, a warm and fuzzy, get you on board the lighting program.
A trip to Alberta, maybe?
A trip to Alberta. We'll do it in the summertime, though, when the sun's up and it's warm.
We won't do it at all.
Exactly. Hey.